Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a little bit different. It's less about how to draw and more about the experience behind it. I'm not going alone. I'm joining Steve from the YouTube channel Steve M109R, and we are taking his motorbike up through the winding mountain roads, the kind of roads where the journey is just as exciting as the destination. And somewhere along the way, I'll find a place to sit down, slow things down and draw. This time I'm heading out on a small adventure to the mountains of southern Spain, to a place called Juzcar. You might know it better as the Smurf Village. Before we get there, here's a bit of history about Juzcar. It used to be one of the traditional white villages of Andalusian, like so many others in this region. But in 2011, everything changed. To celebrate the release of the Smurfs movie, Sony painted the entire village blue. Thousands of liters of paint transformed the town, including the church. Originally, it was only meant to be temporary, but after a huge increase in tourism, the villagers voted to keep it blue. And just like that, Juzcar became something completely unique. Today it's no longer officially called the Smurf Village, but most people still think of that way. These days it's known as Aldea Azul, the Blue Village. As we arrive, the first thing that hits me is just how playful everything feels. The Smurfs themselves are mostly gone now, replaced by all kinds of cartoon characters. Murals, statues, bright colors, it feels like stepping into a storybook. There is a mushroom-shaped kiosk, painted walls and little details everywhere you look. In one small shop I find a Smurf figure and couldn't resist adding it to my collection. I grew up with the Smurfs, songs, cartoons, everything. So it felt like taking a small piece of nostalgia home with me. We wander through the streets and there's always something new around the corner. At one point I realized there are birds of prey you can actually hold, something I completely missed at first. But maybe next time. It's Easter Monday and surprisingly, it's quiet. Maya the bee with her best friend Willy, colorful murals, and even the pharmacy has its own playful twist. It's a kind of place where you really don't follow a plan. You just explore and let things surprise you. Just a handful of tourists, blue sky above us and that perfect mountain air. Not too hot, not too busy, honestly, the best kind of day to be here. On the way into the village, I spotted a statue, too dear. At first glance, it reminds me of Bambi and his mother, but when you look closer, it's something else. Not quite Disney, but close enough to spark the imagination. And that's my moment. I sit down, pull out my sketchbook, I use my leather jacket as a makeshift table. Nothing fancy, just a few pens, pencils and whatever I brought with me. I start with a rough sketch, letting the lines find their way. Normally I skip this part in my videos, but today, this is the story. Adding a few details, adjusting shapes, and before long, the scene is there on paper. I'm home now and it's time to color this piece. I bring out my materials: metallic watercolors for the background, acrylic markers, watercolor pencils and my Sakura pencil for the final lines. I'm not trying to copy the statue exactly. This is my interpretation, my version of that moment. Now comes the color. I have to admit, this is only the second time I ever used watercolor pencils. I picked up a simple set just to experiment. And it took me an hour. But that's part of it, slowing down, learning the medium. I wanted to keep the feeling of the place, the blue of the village, the sky, the mountains, the fresh green around us, all of it comes together in the background. This, to me, is Spain at its best. Not the intense summer heat, but these weeks just before it begins. Back to the drawing. I had highlights with acrylic markers, thinking about the sunlight from that day. The sun was behind the deer, slightly to the right, so that's where the light touches them. Small details start to bring everything to life. And finally, a few tiny stars, just enough to give it that magical feeling. Because honestly, that's what the whole day felt like. This trip, this drawing, it wasn't just about the final piece. It was about being out there, exploring, taking time to sit down and create in the middle of it all. And that's something I want to do more often. If you enjoy this kind of video, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. I'd love to turn this into a regular thing, maybe once a month or maybe twice a month. And don't forget to check out Steve's YouTube channel, Steve M109R, to see the journey from his side. Thank you for coming along with me on this one. Hasta luego, creative friends.